It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you, and welcome to this special edition of Science Bowl, the beginning of the elementary school semifinals in this year's Science Bowl competition. Let's play along today if you're out there and test your own science IQ. Let's meet today's teams. First of all, from Bond Mill Elementary, would you please say hello to Carolyn Appleby, Trevor Bateman, and Tristan Merritt. And from Magnolia Elementary, here they are, Alexander Toulon, George Ford, and John Levinas. And now, here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing, and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty, with the easier questions on the left that are worth 5 and 10 points, the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. And at the end of the 2 rounds today, one of these 2 talented, good-looking teams will come back to play again for the chance to move on and possibly become the first of our final 4 in this year's competition. We started with 40 schools. We're almost down to the final 4. We go alphabetically. That means B before M. So Bond Mill, let's get started. Let's check that buzzer system first before we start. Trevor, would you try it? Looks and sounds good. Good luck to you, Carolyn, and to Tristan. John, give it a push. That's the way to do it. All right, John, George, Alexander, congratulations, guys. Magnolia, you are our returning champion. You got a bye in the first round of competition. Bond Mill, you have won twice already. You are hot. We're going to have a good game. All right, Trevor, let's begin.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, astronomers think there is a 9th planet out there well beyond Neptune that takes 15,000 years to make one orbit around the sun. That is equal to one what? Magnolia?
Light years.
Not light year, no. Bond Mill. That 15,000 year orbital time that it takes this possible 9th planet is equal to one what?
Millennium?
No, 1 year. 1 year. One revolution around the sun equals 1 year. Not light year. Good try, no points, go red.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Teams, you may remember there was a movie about a pig named Babe. Babe is also the name of what blue animal? Trevor?
Ox.
An ox, yeah, Babe, the blue ox, and Paul Bunyan. Nicely done. Zoo Parade for 15 points. All right, here's your question. Loggerheads, greens, huckspills, leatherbacks, and olive ridleys are all different kinds of these. Magnolia?
Turtles.
They're all turtles. You bet they are. All right. Good answer. Go. Green.
Let's see. Zoo Parade for 20.
Zoo Parade for 20 points. Teams, chickens know where they stand among their peers in the barnyard, the hierarchy of hendom, if you will, based on this order. Trevor.
Kingdom?
Not kingdom, no. What order lets chickens know where they stand among their peers in the barnyard?
Is it chronological order?
No, a good try. It's called the pecking order. They keep pecking each other, and if you peck someone and they don't peck you back, you're bigger than they are. Okay? So everybody knows who can peck whom. Try again, Green.
Okay.
You're 5 points ahead.
Body, body systems for 25.
25 points, body system, big one in that category. Teams, the top cervical vertebrae in your neck that supports your skull has what same name as the mythological man who carried the whole world on his shoulders. He was Atlas. He was Atlas, and that is the Atlas vertebrae. No points. John?
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, if a woman has an amnio test for amniocentesis, she's trying to find out, most likely, if she's going to have a what or a what? Von Milk?
Boy or girl?
A boy or a girl. That's it. Okay, go.
Body systems for 15.
For 15 points. In body systems, teams, someone's vulnerability is often expressed as his or her Achilles what? Magnolia.
Heel.
Heel, that's right, or tendon. Nicely done. Go.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, bubble wrap is so much fun. I always have to pop it. You probably do too. Well, the bubble wrap isn't actually bubbled. It is actually in a shape that has the same shape and name as half of the planet Earth. Bon Mill.
Hemisphere?
You got that right. They're those little hemispheres. They're flat on one side. And if there were some here right now, I'd be popping them too. Go, Red.
Let's get physical for 15.
For 15 points. Teams, back in 1967, this planet's 10th moon was discovered. But now, because of the Cassini space probe, we know that this planet doesn't have just 10 moons, it has 62.
Jupiter.
John.
Jupiter.
Not Jupiter, good try. This planet actually has 62 moons, as confirmed by the Cassini space probe, Trevor.
Saturn?
You got that right. Nice comeback. Go, Red.
Let's get physical for 25.
For 25, and let's get physical. Teams, if you're trying to separate things of different densities, like the milk from the cream, or the different parts of the blood from each other, you would use one of these spinning devices found in many science laboratories. Those are called centrifuges. Centrifuges. Try again, Red. Go, Trevor.
So, green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, the poet Walt Whitman wrote a famous book of poems called The Leaves of This Green Plant, but the leaves of this plant are leaves that we normally call blades. John.
Grass.
Grass. The Leaves of Grass was the name of that poetry collection. Nicely done. All right, Magnolia. Oh, that was a good first round. It was a quick one, too. Let's check that score. Almost a dead heat. Bon Mill 105, Magnolia 90. We'll be back with round 2 in just a moment. Don't you go away. Welcome back to Scienceful. So nice to have you here today. Here we are in our 31st year, bringing elementary and middle school students here and testing their scientific literacy. And each year they get better and better, and we're just delighted to have 6 wonderful students here with us today. Let's go first to Bon Mill, and they were first here a number of months ago. Nice to have you back. Trevor, tell us about Bon Mill. Bon Mill is up there in Laurel, and who's your principal?
Mr. Fitzgerald.
Mr. Fitzgerald, and he is here today, and he's going to be out in just a few moments, and he's just a great guy. He's always there where you are because he's such a great educator. And speaking of great educators, who's your sponsor?
Miss Jacobs.
Miss Jacobs, that's right. And Miss Jacobs has been with us all 31 years. Kathy, we can't say enough good things about you. And I know you've been waiting for a championship, maybe this year. Made a good start here. Any alternates on your team, Trevor?
We have Kevin Sue.
Yeah, Kevin, he'll be out in just a few moments. Kevin, we miss you here, but we'll see you in a few moments. And Tristan is here today, and he's filling in for you. Well, you're alternates. You're both alternates. Everybody kind of pitches in. Tell me, Trevor, about Bon Mill. What's the best thing about your school if you had to pick one thing?
I think it's a good school because everybody who goes there likes it. Like, they don't want to go to another school. I think it's a nice school because it's fun to be there. The teachers are nice, and they educate really well.
Well, if you guys are proof, and you are, then it's a great school because you guys are just terrific. You know everything. You're well-mannered, and you know where you're going in life here. And sounds like a great place to go to school. Wish I had been there someday. All right. Tell me about yourself, Trevor. What do you want to do someday?
I want to be a paleontologist or an engineer or a microbiologist that studies paleontology.
So you've got an interest, that dinosaur interest is pulling you, and I think that's a great thing. And you're a good captain. I like how you touch base with your colleagues here. Tristan, tell us about yourself. You are want to do something with computer programming and coding, and you like to do that in your spare time. What else do you do?
I play video games, and I've really been working on my Minecraft world and taking online classes with coding.
So you're a disciplined young guy. You already know where you want to go, and you're taking the steps to get there. And we knew you were smart. Now we're convinced you're even smarter than that. So it's good to have you here, our fifth grader. And Carolyn, tell us about yourself. You're interested in what?
Animals.
Animals, yeah. Do you have any pets?
I have a cat, Mitzi, at home.
Very nice. I bet you take good care of Mitzi, too.
Yes, and I have 12 fish.
12 fish. Does Mitzi ever try to eat the fish?
All the time, but... Yeah.
Why am I not surprised about that? Do you want to be a veterinarian someday?
Yes.
Yeah, I could guess that. What do you do in your spare time if you're not taking care of pets?
I'm mostly on my phone, and I like to read.
Wow. And I know you like Harry Potter, don't you? Yeah, I remember that from last time. Nice to have you back. Magnolia, nice to have you guys here. As I said at the top of the show, you are the defending champs. It's your picture out there on the poster for Science Bowl. You are the poster guys for Science Bowl. But no pressure, guys. Tell me about Magnolia. Where is it?
Magnolia is in Lanham, Maryland.
In Lanham, Maryland. And who's your principal?
Dr. Gillens.
Absolutely. And she supports this team so much. And speaking of support, there is no better coach than yours, Mr. Robert Allen, the dapper Mr. Allen. He'll be out in just a few moments, and he too is on the poster. And any alternates on your team?
We have Jaylon Harris, Samuel Adesofa, Kalani Bugs, and Kevin Mayo.
Wow, thank you, George, for helping there. So you got a shadow team +1 out there. We'll bring all of you guys out with Mr. Allen in a few moments. Ask you the same thing I did Trevor, John. If you had to brag about Magnolia, what's the best thing about that school?
I guess I would say it's the atmosphere, because everyone like the teachers, the staff, the kids, they're all fun to be around, and we always have a good time.
Wow, that's really important, because if you're not having a good time, you're not going to want to go there. And it sounds like there's mutual respect. You respect the teachers respect you, so you're in a good place over there. All right. John, what do you want to do someday?
Someday I want to be either an engineer or a football player.
Football player. And you already have the school picked out, didn't you? Ohio State, right? Mm-hmm. They'd be lucky to get you, John. George, nice to have you here today. You'd like to be an electrician someday, yeah?
Yes.
Because your dad was an electrician. You'd like to follow in his footsteps. Are you good at tinkering with things?
Sometimes.
Yeah, we're all kind of klutzy sometimes, but you know, I'm sure if you decide on that, you're going to be very expert at it, because I like how you're playing the game. What do you do in your spare time, George?
Play video games and play baseball.
Sounds like a normal guy to me. And you play shortstop or second base?
Second base.
Second base. All right, you keep at that. Alexander, nice to have you here. Why'd you want to be on our show? Did Mr. Allen recruit you?
Yes.
Yeah, well, he recruited well. And first time here, you're a little bit nervous, but we hope you're feeling comfortable, because you're doing a nice job here today. What do you want to do someday?
I most definitely want to be a paleontologist.
Yeah, we were talking about dinosaurs before. Do you have a favorite dinosaur?
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Tyrannosaurus Rex. And what was the one in Jurassic World? There was a T-Rex and there was a... Indominus Rex, yeah, which they made up, right? Yeah. What do you do in your spare time?
I do a lot of art. I just like to draw a lot of things.
Okay, that's great. All right, John, what you moving around over there? All right, let's get back to the game. Our score is 90 for Magnolia and 105 for Bond Mill. Lots of points still available. Last correct answer came from the green team. So, John, you start us out.
Yes. Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. A lot of baby boomers have hepatitis C and don't know it. This blood-borne virus attacks what organ in your body, Bond Mill?
Your liver?
Your liver, absolutely right. Thank you, Tristan. Nice assist there. Go red.
Green things for 15.
For 15 points in green things is a visual question. Everybody look at the monitor in the studio, if you would, please. These sculptures that are in Dublin, Ireland, are of people that are starving. They look miserable, as you can see. That's because back in the mid-1850s, what tuberous vegetable failed to grow? Magnolia?
Potato.
Yeah, the great potato famine in Ireland. Over 1 million people died, and they commemorate that event in this sculpture here. Nicely done. Thanks, Alexander, for your help, too. Go, John.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 25 points. Get this one right, and you will be in the lead by 5 points. All right, this is a visual question as well. Look at the monitor, if you would, for zoo parade for 25 points. Teams, this bird coming in for a landing has one of the biggest wingspans of any bird. And in a famous story called The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, this bird led a ship out of troubled waters. Trevor?
Albatross?
You got that right, the albatross, and they shot it after it helped them. And then the sailors revolted against the captain and made him wear the dead albatross around his neck. Red, go. Well done.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. If you are on the paleo diet, P-A-L-E-O, it means you probably eat a lot of meat, like the Paleozoic era, when what kinds of human beings lived? Magnolia.
Cavemen.
Cavemen, yeah. Give me a drumstick, like the Flintstones. Go. Green.
Let's get physical. Wait, no. Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, eczema is a kind of rash. If you have a baby brother or sister, you know that's very common. And mothers will often put Vaseline on eczema. Vaseline is known as this kind of jelly. Trevor?
Petroleum?
Petroleum jelly. I was about to say a synonym for oil, and you didn't even need that. Good. Red.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, strange as it may seem, fresh urine contains no germs. So in a pinch, doctors can put their instruments inside that urine in order, Trevor?
To clean them?
Be more specific.
To sanitize them?
To sanitize them or sterilize them, absolutely. Thank you, Carolyn. You came in just at the right moment there. Go, Trevor.
Green things for 20.
Green things, 20 points. Teams, if a forest fire singes a tree on one side, and thus not killing it, the tree starts to heal. And as it heals, it forms these, the same things that remain after you get a bad cut on your skin. John?
Scab.
Not a scab. Bon Mill.
A scar?
A scar that is left there. Okay, go. Red.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25. Big one in that category. Two-part answer. Teams, the biggest flower on earth is called Rafflesia. It's a parasite. It lives close to the ground. It has a root that goes through the host, and it has a flower. What two parts are missing that you normally find on a flower? It's got a flower and a root, but it doesn't have what two things?
A stem and leaves.
Magnolia.
A stem and leaves.
You got them both. Nicely done, John. Good. Go.
Let's do Dateline Science for 20.
Dateline Science for 20 points. We're back in this game here, 205, 140. Lots of points still to give away. Dateline for 20 points. Teams in this country, doctors aspire to the top prize in this country called the Lasker Award. It is America's version, Bon Mill,
Nobel Prize?
of the Nobel Prize. Yes, sir. Good.
Dateline Science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, the Juno spacecraft that is headed to Jupiter has 3 tiny Lego statues aboard. One of them is of this Italian astronomer, John
Galileo,
who founded Jupiter's moons. Yes, indeed. Good. Go. Green.
Dateline Science for 15.
Dateline Science for 15 points. Teams, because the shortened version of chromosome number 22 that is found in people who suffer from leukemia was discovered in this city, it is called what kind of chromosome? For the largest city in Pennsylvania. Bon Mill.
Philadelphia?
Philadelphia. That's right, Tristan. It's the Philadelphia chromosome. Good. Go. What you got?
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5. Teams, a very delicious genetic breakthrough just took place. Scientists have decoded the genome of this tree that is very important to Mars, Snickers, and M&M eaters. Magnolia. What you got?
Almond trees.
Not almond tree. No, Bond Mill.
Cacao.
The cacao tree, that's right, that the cocoa comes from. Good. Red.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Teams, your question is as follows. A person's a person, no matter how small, said what Seussian pachyderm? Bond Mill.
The Cat in the Hat.
Not the Cat in the Hat. A person's a person, no matter how small, said this Seussian pachyderm.
Elephant.
Elephant.
Elephant, that's right. Horton hears a who. Alex knew that. Good. Next.
Let's do science potpourri for 25.
Science potpourri for 25 points. Big one in that category. Teams. Interesting. Orcas, killer whales, are among the only mammals, like ourselves, where the females continue to live a long time after they stop reproducing. So yes, killer whales, like human females, go through this. Bond Mill.
I'll pass to Tristan.
Menopause.
Menopause it is. Yes, sir. I knew. Your eyes lit up. I knew you knew that one. Good. Red.
Dateline Science for 25.
Dateline Science for 25 points. Teams, a new movie called Hidden Figures about African-American women mathematicians who helped to get America's astronauts into space were involved in what space program? Not Apollo. John?
NASA.
No. Bond Mill. What space program were they involved in? Not Apollo, not Gemini, but this one.
Can I pass it to
Carolyn.
Carolyn?
The Liberty 7.
Not the Liberty 7, no. Correct answer was Mercury, the Mercury program. Go, Red.
Let's get physical for 5.
Get physical for 5 points. Teams, the late singer Prince sang about this purple precipitation. Magnolia.
Purple rain.
Purple rain is right. All right, we got 3 left. Where, John?
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, as we sadly saw recently, the actress Debbie Reynolds died one day after her daughter Carrie Fisher, proving that you can die from a broken what? John?
Heart.
Heart is right. Go green.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. All right, teams. There is information out now about 60 animals that become flatulent. They pass gas. You can find out more information by going to hashtag Does It Do This? John.
Does it fart?
Absolutely. Good. Last question of the game. Dateline for 5 points. Teams, an ice sheet the size of Delaware is about to break off this continent. Bond Mill.
Antarctica.
Antarctica is right. And with that, we come to the end of this Science Bowl game. We will be right back. Talk to the winners. Don't go away. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this game at home as much as we did here in the studio. Everyone played well. We are proud of all of our players, and our final tally is Magnolia 170, Bond Mill 275. Carolyn and Trevor and Tristan, they're all smiles as they should be. Kevin, they did good, didn't they? And their principal is here, Mr. Fitzgerald. Thank you for being here, sir, always supporting this team. And Kathy, maybe after 31 years. We're getting close. We're getting close. Magnolia, I want to see some big smiles over here. You guys did splendidly. This is your first time ever doing this. John and George and Alexander. And look at the sea of yellow back there. All of the alternates. Wave, guys. We've got Samuel and Jelani and Jalen and Kalani and who do I miss? Kevin, absolutely. And the wonderful Mr. Allen back there too, looking sharp as ever. Let's give everybody a hand. Nice job, everybody today. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Dave Zarin. We'll see you next time on Science Bowl. Bye-bye now.